get a good move on that. I want to see what that trade would be like. That would be a good 30%. Hey guys, Krisha here. Please be cautious of any fake comments and emails you may receive from people pretending to be Mango Research. Sean and I will never, ever contact you for investment opportunities or anything of that sort. To get in touch with the real Mango team, make sure to join our official Discord chat using the link in the description below. Stay safe out there, and remember, do it Mango. And what's up, you guys? Welcome to the Mango Grove. My name is Krisha, and this is today's Bitcoin and Vechain analysis video. I have Sean with me today. Sean, say hi.
Good morning, everyone, and welcome back to the Mango Grove. Bitcoin sitting at $46,000.
It took another sort of a leap to the upside, so there's once again a lot to talk about. I feel like there have been some very important developments on the chart since we published our video from yesterday, which, by the way, the reception to that video was absolutely fantastic. We're so happy that you guys loved the new dashboard release. We got amazing comments. We got some suggestions as well, so all of that is much welcome. By the way, guys, the dashboard, once again, the new feature, which is the Mango View, we'll be going over it in a bit. It's completely free, so I urge each and every one of you out there to go ahead and check it out, play around with it, tell us what you think about it, and yeah. So on today's agenda, of course, we're going to be covering Bitcoin. Like I'd mentioned, we did take another leap to the upside, so we'll be doing that. And in addition to that, Sean, I actually want to go ahead and look at the Mango dynamic today. I spotted some very interesting, once again, developments on the Mango dynamic. A few signals went off. Yes, they did.
I love how Krisha is taking the route I took with the Mango Vine. She's becoming a believer slowly as the market cycle unfolds, and she's like, oh my god. Yeah.
It's been phenomenal. For those of you actually using the dynamic, you guys probably already know this. But so we'll be taking a look at the Mango dynamic, and only once we've done that will we be switching on over to Vechain. So are you ready?
Let's do it.
Cool beans. And hey guys, do not forget to tell us what altcoin you want us to cover in tomorrow's video. And of course, the popular vote wins.
So
today, one guy
won the vote.
Yeah, so there was this one comment that had me in splits. I just have to look for him here.
I think I know who you're talking about.
Right, so
he's like, can I get some help from the community?
That
guy. Yeah.
Yeah, there he is. Farah G.
Yeah,
he's like, okay, Vechain. He's like, can I get some freaking help from the Vechain community?
And then Serena stepped in. She's like, I got you, Farah.
So no, I thought that was pretty funny. So dude, you won the vote today. Awesome. Now let's get into the Mango dashboard first. And as you can see here, guys, Bitcoin USDT did give us a reversal, that long bullish trend change 14 days ago. And if you actually caught a trade based on this, you're up a good 22% already on your trade. There's another interesting thing that I'm seeing here, Sean, just right off the bat. Yesterday when we were covering
the volume
Bitcoin, Ethereum's volume actually surpassed Bitcoin's for that split moment right there. And I thought that was very interesting. That's not something you see too often, not in market junctures like this one that we're currently at. So yesterday, Ethereum took over as far as volume was concerned. But so far, I mean, Bitcoin on the daily looking good. Do you want to go ahead and filter out Vechain from the list?
Yeah, let's go ahead.
Right, since we're covering Vechain, and what do you know? Bet USDT, guys, also bullish long trend change, which came in 11 days ago.
26%.
If you manage to catch a trade on this, it's up 26%. And in fact, it has been outperforming Bitcoin for the past 5 days, right? So
I don't know, and I don't say this too often, but I think it might be the time to be looking at altcoins. I just want to wait for Bitcoin to perhaps have a little bit of a pullback, but altcoins, we should be keeping an eye on them.
I've been over
the next few weeks at the very least. Yeah, go on.
Yeah, so now that we have, additional information on the dashboard, now when I get on over to the Mango view, I'm currently on the 4-day time frame, by the way, guys. So now that we have these additional tickers, I've been keeping track of, okay, what's happening with the yields? What's happening with Dixie? Dollar strength index, is that going up, right? How is that affecting Bitcoin? And not just that, Bitcoin dominance has also been in my face. Now I know that Bitcoin dominance is sitting at 46.5%. And if I'm not wrong, guys, for those of you actually keeping track of Bitcoin dominance, I think it's sitting smack on support right now. So I don't want to get too, too open with my altcoin trading just yet. I want to see Bitcoin dominance give me that tip off in that, okay, you know what, Bitcoin dominance has hit like a level of resistance. The alts may very well start running.
That's fair. This Mango view over here is literally my dream come true, right? Because it was so difficult to keep track of things on TradingView with just a glance, right? There was so much noise, and you got sucked into the charts when you didn't want to. You end up looking at so many different other coins, and then before you know it, you're sitting on the charts for like an entire hour when you told yourself, hey, I'm just going to go ahead and take a quick glance for 2 minutes.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. Now I can actually do that, right? Right here, what's important to me? Bitcoin. I want to keep a track of the tickers, US 10-year yields, Dixie, and dominance.
Yeah.
Boom. That's in front of us. Now, as we evolve as a community, right, we'll go ahead and change things up. We'll switch things around, right? So nothing over here, guys, is static. So your feedback and suggestions are completely welcome.
Yes.
Now, for those of you who want to keep an eye on Ethereum as your main coin instead of Bitcoin, well, go ahead and switch on over Ethereum, and you still get to keep an eye on all these major tickers of the global macro markets at the same time.
Yeah.
So this is Mango. That's why it's called the Mango view, because hey, we keep it simple and what's important, the information staring at us without giving us any noise.
Yeah, this all feeds into each other, by the way, and that's why we're looking at those global markets as well. Now, as far as price goes, Sean, now yesterday, yes, we covered the weekly chart, right? And that weekly close was fantastic. By the way, guys, if you did not catch yesterday's video, I suggest you go ahead and watch that one, because well, we revealed this beautiful dashboard. In addition to that, we actually go over the weekly time frame, so definitely go ahead and check it out, because the weekly closed extremely well.
By the way, I do want to mention that Kusha, you did mention that the Mango view is completely free, but I think some people might be getting confused. All you guys need to do is sign in to be able to see the Mango view option, right? Unless you sign in with a free account, right? You could sign in with a free account. You won't see the Mango view on the sidebar over here, so it's hidden. But though I think it's a more for precautionary measure. But in time we'll fix that as well. So for now, you cannot see it unless you sign in.
Yeah, so just make sure you create an account and sign in. And yeah, you'll be eligible for a free account, and you should be able to pull up the Mango view. So yesterday we covered the weekly. Go ahead and check that one out. The weekly it had a bullish, phenomenal close. However, we also closed a 4-day candle yesterday.
And a 2-day candle.
And exactly. So all
of these
those
candles.
And the thing about the 4-day and the 2-day, guys, is that this is a Mango exclusive, by the way. Something that you usually have to pay for, I believe, on TradingView.
Yeah.
Right? So for those of you who struggle with keeping up with Mango, we've pretty much given it to you right here, 4-day and 2-day timeframes that otherwise is not available on the basic account on TradingView. You can come out here and take a look at the chart, as well as, price relative to the levels. Now,
so essentially, when I created the Mango ribbon, it was to be able to allow people to use TradingView without upgrading their account to the premium account, right? So they were allowed to essentially use multiple indicators within one indicator on TradingView, because TradingView limits you to having only, I believe, 2 or 3 indicators, but the Mango ribbon gives you the EMAs, the SMAs, like 3 EMAs, 2 SMAs, the Ichimoku, Tenkan, Cloud, etc., all in one, right? But I had no control over the time frames that TradingView limited you on. So TradingView doesn't allow you to look at the 2-day and the 4-day, which are Mango time frames. Well, now over here, you guys get all the indicators of the Mango ribbon, right? You get the cloud, you get the Ichimoku, you get the SMAs, you get the EMAs, and you get more, the swing lows, highs, SNRs, etc. But on top of that, now you guys also get the 4-day and the 2-day time frame.
I'm still so blown away. This is all still just sinking in. But we're gonna get back on over to price action, because I want to tell you what's really happening here on the 4-day time frame. And I figured, it's best to sort of dissect it here. That way you guys can pull it up as well. Now, yesterday, we can all agree that the weekly closed well, right, Sean?
Yep.
Okay, so the weekly had a phenomenal...
close.
Exactly. Weekly had a phenomenal close, okay, but now let's go ahead. We're currently on the 4-day time frame. I want to see where price closed relative to that Ichimoku cloud levels.
Yes.
Because remember, price, okay, now this is the Kijun and the Tenkin that I've pulled up. All right, price was oscillating within that sandwich of that Kijun as well as that Tenkin. We were holding that Kijun as overhead resistance, but I want you to notice what happened there on that last candle, right, that we closed yesterday. We actually closed over the Kijun. Take a look at that.
Yep.
I'm just going to zoom into that, right? We closed well over the Kijun right here, right? So that close pretty much came in at 43.7K.
So, Krisha, what I'm really liking about this, and if you guys do remember from last week, I was looking at this zone over here a lot, right? In fact, that's where I decided to get my bids in, right, on that retest of the Tenkin. We were expecting this retest over here, but then the market decided to be a little bit more generous and give people another retest of that same area. I believe it was within this 4-day candle. Actually,
Yeah.
we got 2 retests within this 4-day candle, but I wasn't getting too excited about a move or continuation towards the upside until we start seeing 2 things. The first thing I wanted to start seeing was the Tenkin start moving aggressively towards the upside, right? Because at that time, the Tenkin was still angling towards the downside and was moving towards the downside. So price could have been drifting down, creating these kind of lows that you're seeing, Krisha, right? Price could have kept doing that, right? And going lower and lower until it just gives up. But we didn't do that. Instead, we closed higher. Now the Tenkin is angling upwards. The Kijun's angling upwards.
Yeah.
The support and resistance line are essentially moving upwards, right? These are dynamic trend lines, guys. So what's happening now is that we have a chance of the Tenkin closing over the Kijun. And if we get that bullish TK cross, Krisha, it may actually lead to a bullish TK cross above the cloud.
Exactly. And guys, that is very, very important. A bullish TK cross above the cloud is considered ultra bullish. Okay, and more often than not, it does see that immediate sort of continuation to the upside, and these moves are usually trend trades. They're massive moves to the upside. And also, Sean, like I want you to notice. So I was doing some back testing on Bitcoin's chart, right? And I'm looking at a price relative to the cloud level, so the edge to edge plays on the cloud. And throughout this entire dump, I feel like if there was one cloud region that Bitcoin really respected, it was the 4-day.
Yep.
Right? We had one fake out here, but as soon as we got back inside the cloud, once again, guys, we did an edge to edge. Hell, we did a total of 1, 2, 3, 4 edge to edge plays on the 4-day cloud, guys. 4 edge to edge, very, very neat plays just given to you on a platter. So far, I want you to notice how price has closed over the cloud. So we're over almost all cloud levels right now. Not almost. We are over all cloud levels right now. The actual Ichimoku cloud, okay, the Kijun as well as the Tenkin, all of which we were holding as resistance not too long ago.
There's probably one level that you guys want to keep an eye on with the Chiku span, but at this point, I don't want to get into that. What I will say is, for those of you who were watching Mango, okay, all the way back when Bitcoin was sitting around 9,000, and how we talked about that big Ichimoku play, and if you guys are on the seed program, that was around the time that I was recording the Ichimoku module for the seed too, and in there, there are a couple or 3 sections where I talk about the golden Ichimoku play. Okay, and it just happened. It was so magical and perfect that the golden trigger on Bitcoin of the Ichimoku play triggered while I was recording those sections of the module. So I was like, guys, it's happening right now. So you guys, if you guys are on the seed program and watch that module already, this is the time to go ahead and re-watch that module, because we might be seeing the same play kind of unfold, right?
Yes.
We don't know just yet, but if you guys watch that module, when it does trigger, you guys will be ready for that play, because that play at 9,000, right? I was like, guys, this happens once in a while, but when it does happen, it's an extremely high probability trend rate, which is why I got so bullish when it did trigger, and it took us from $9,500, $10,000-ish all the way to $60,000. That was the trend rate that triggered. That's why I call it the golden Ichimoku play, because when it does trigger, it gives a high probability play for a big win, not just for a small range trade win, but you go for that big win, right? That's why I call it the golden Ichimoku play. But it might be happening, Krisha, and again, I'll be looking for crazy moves again. People called me crazy back then, they're going to call me crazy again. But hey, it's not triggered just yet.
Oh man, a lot of memories are just coming back from that period. Sean was calling 14K at 3K, guys. Like, it was pretty insane. Everyone was looking at him and be like, what the hell are you talking about? But no, it actually ended up playing out. So right now, getting back on over to price action, I'm going to go ahead, Sean, and switch off the Ichimoku cloud. Okay. I actually want to see, where is this coming in? On top of the cloud comes in at 45.6K. But just for now, put off that Ichimoku cloud. I also just want to bring up my swing highs and my swing lows here, okay? Because once again, something very, very important happened here on the 40 time frame as far as structure is concerned. Bring up the swing highs and swing lows, and what do you know, Sean? We've taken out the lower high right here. So now I want you guys to notice how we're putting in a bullish structure. Now we have
two higher lows.
Exactly. So now we're going to wait for the next higher high to be set in. So it's going to be marked with an HH right here.
Yeah.
Okay, and remember, there's going to be an ebb and flow of price action. We're looking for higher highs and higher lows. Okay, so make sure to keep your eyes peeled on the structure at all times. That structure is going to be key. Okay, so far, I mean, the 4-day, Sean, I think it's looking bullish, like the weekly time frame. I think these two are looking good. However, let's talk about continuation from here, right? Targets. Now, I personally believe that we are sitting smack up against resistance. Okay, now the resistance that I'm seeing actually comes in. I'm going to go ahead, put on that Ichimoku once again. Sorry, not the Tenkan Kishin, but just the cloud. All right, so I do believe that we have resistance right along the top of the cloud, right here. And I believe you'll find confluence with this on the weekly Tenkan as well, right? What are your thoughts on this, Sean?
I completely agree with you. That was well analyzed. So you talked about what was important, the fact that we're putting into high lows, right? And the fact that we have resistance overhead. Now, again, going back to yesterday's video, I really recommend watching yesterday's video, guys, for those of you who are looking to learn, especially the difference between trend trading and support and resistance, because we really break that down in that video, because Krisha is more interested in her support and resistance trade right now, while I am in a trend trade. So we discuss how I'm more interested in, hey, when can Bitcoin flip support into resistance, because I want to look to add to my trade, right? Because as a trend trader, you have to try and ignore resistance, and essentially you are assuming resistance is going to be taken out as a trend trader, right? Because the trend will continue, resistance is going to flip into support, and on that support you are potentially looking to be a buyer, right? So hey, if we do flip this this $47,000 region, Krisha, $47,000 region has always been a major region for us. A lot of people were looking at that daily 200 moving average as resistance. You and I were like, it's likely going to start or stop over there, right? We kept saying that, but it wasn't the major point. This, if there was a point where Bitcoin actually saw a pullback, it would likely be over here, right? But again, as a trend trader, look for the next support region, next higher low. We don't know where it's going to come. And look to be adding to your position.
Yeah, I feel like if there's any point of rejection, it might just be here.
So around 47,000 ish.
However, if we get up over this line that I've drawn out for you, which also lines up with the top of the cloud, also lining up with the weekly Tenkan, okay, which comes in at around $45,000 to $46,000. If we start living over that region, then I'm going to look towards the 4-day SNR regions.
And that,
And yes, you can toggle that on with just one click. Now, everything is for free except for the SNR regions, which I believe is a premium feature, right, Sean?
Yeah.
Okay, so the SNR is a premium feature. So for those of you with a premium account, you guys can just honestly just look at the ranges, because that's what I personally am going to be keeping my eyes peeled on. As soon as we start living over this $46,000 region, I'm going to be looking for another push all the way up to this region right here, which comes in at around $51,000.
Yep.
Okay, so that's going to be the next major range. But you know what, Sean? At that point, I think that the bulls are in control. At that point, that's where I start looking for the trend plays. I'll be looking for the next higher low to be set in, and I'm gonna start looking for the trend trades to the upside, because guys, notice how just getting back up over this region right here, which is the blue line, once again, also will help Bitcoin take out the breakdown point. The breakdown point, which, by the way, we have been talking about now for months, right? And that was this. We had this beautiful bearish head and shoulders, which broke down. The breakdown point came in at around $47,000 to $46,000. Okay, so I'll be keeping my eyes peeled on that. We start closing consecutive candles over that, I'm saying further up we go. And yeah, Bitcoin bulls are in control.
I agree.
Right? Is there anything else that you want to cover on Bitcoin on this chart before we jump on over to the dynamic?
No, I think you covered it all, Krisha. It was Bitcoin looking good over here. I'm just being patient.
Yeah, so guys, make sure you're zooming out. People are in like a zone of disbelief. I'm not sure what's happening. I'm not seeing the kind of hype that you usually see in moves like this when Bitcoin makes a 20% move. So you know, don't have too many biases on the chart. When the charts flip, it is your job to flip with the chart. Okay, your goal here is to make money and not to just come here and apply your biases
Exactly.
to price
Like,
action.
it's a bit annoying that I'm seeing far too many people in this space wanting to be right. Right. It's more about I guess there's a term for clout, right? The
Yeah.
Trader Fraser taught me that term, clout. So you're going to see a lot of people saying, "Hey, I told you so. It was the top. I told you so. It was the bottom." Blah
Right.
blah blah. I don't want any of you guys, or I implore you guys to not get into those debates and conversations. You know, just walk away from them. Okay, it doesn't matter if you call the top, or it doesn't matter if you call the bottom. It's irrelevant. It's like you can be wrong and still make money, right?
Yeah.
Be proud in being wrong. Be mango.
Yep. There you go. Words of wisdom just dropped. Alrighty, so now Sean, I want to take them towards the mango dynamic because something went off on the mango dynamic.
Okay.
Okay, so for that we're gonna get on over to TradingView. Alright, I'm currently on the daily time frame. Let's go ahead and switch on that mango dynamic.
I mean, the
And-
mango dynamic play. I was screaming out this play all the way back when we were around here, right? So this is how you guys find plays like this. When you notice that price is respecting a trend line over and over and over and over again, well, that's edge. And as soon as it gives you confirmation that that trend line is broken, well, you play the other side of it, which is why even though we were playing the 4-day dynamic throughout the bull trend, during the bear trend, we noticed that, hey, this is respecting the daily dynamic to the T, right? Each time we got up there, rejection, never got the double close above it, right? Even though we got excited a little bit over here, we waited for the double close.
Yeah.
Which had this also lined up with that 12-hour Ichimoku edge-to-edge play that also got rejected.
Right.
So again, right over there, almost happened, did not. Let's be patient. And then this play we were ready for. It lined up with everything. And it broke the dynamic after that too.
Yes.
This was the easy trade, and again pulled into the dynamic again. All the bears were like, I told you so, it was just a bull trap. Well, yeah, the bull trap is still going, man. It's going for still another $10,000. So yeah, this could be a bull trap all the way to $100,000, but dynamic is flip green too now, Kusha.
Exactly, and that's something that I wanted to bring up. Dynamic is flip green, and not just that, guys. The tempo has gone off, telling us that the bulls have the horns on this one. Okay, that momentum is building up there. That's what the tempo is there for. So dynamic has turned bullish, and now I want to bring up something else that's happening on the backdrop on this daily close. Okay, for that, let's go ahead and pull up that 200 simple moving average. And boom.
So tempo was picking up while we were driving through the 200 moving average, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, I had a feeling we were gonna go past the 200 moving average, and the question is, do we hold it? Okay, do we hold it? Because now that we've taken it out, right, this could actually be an area of liquidity where people give up their positions, right, their short positions. So essentially they're going to turn to buyers, and then the market actually comes down, gives in that higher low, perhaps on the dynamic, and then we want to see, do we see continuation? Do we lose that dynamic? This is how you play it, guys, through a risk-first approach, right? You're not just, you don't have these high conviction opinions where you're like, no, we're gonna go up and keep going up. No, you have invalidation points, right? So my invalidation is the trend is going to end. If the trend ends, I'm invalidated, right? So when I see resistance, I'm not concerned because I'm playing the trend, right? But if I see the trend end, which could either be, depends on how you do your trend analysis. So you could say, hey, if we lose a dynamic, I'm out of my trade. Or you could be saying, hey, we could be losing this low over here, and then I'm out of my trade, right? The dynamic allows you to get out of the trade early while keeping with the trend, so it's a lot tighter, right? But again, it depends on your trading personality. But you got to stick to your guns and have that invalidation. Don't play your gut instinct. Don't play crowd sentiment. Have an invalidation. You can use your gut instinct to be a booster. You can use sentiment to be a booster to the probability of your trade, but don't rely on it.
Yeah, I agree. So take this advice, heed this advice, and yeah, this is the information that we have on our chart, and we are going to be playing this. All right. And now let's just give them some very, very quick targets. I do believe that we're up against resistance. You can see my green box territory marked out right there. However, if we start breaking back down below the 200 simple moving average, that's when I'm going to be looking at this wick low right here. Okay, which comes in at around 42.7k. We start losing that, then I'm saying further down we come. Next possible region of contention is pretty much going to be these highs right here, right? That was another breakout point that we had, and this comes in at $40,000. I'll be looking for another test of $40,000. It's only once we start living up over the green box territory, guys, I'm saying further up we go. Next region of contention is going to be 53 to 57,000. Right? It's going to be a good freaking move. At that point, the bulls are going to be in control. Now, Sean, is there anything else that you want to add to this before we jump on over to Vechain?
Oh, there's so much more I want to talk about when pertaining to Bitcoin, but we should jump on over to Vechain and keep the rest for tomorrow.
Yes, cool beans. So now, guys, remember, if you want us to cover any of the altcoins that you are looking at, take this time to get down to the comments section and tell us which altcoin you want us to cover. And of course, the popular vote wins. Now, Vechain USDT. Let's go. Sweet, and here we are, Vechain USDT on the daily time frame. Wow, okay, this is looking good. The uptrend is there. Sean, what are your first view thoughts on Vechain on the daily?
Well, do you guys remember when we talked about Vechain last? I highlighted this falling channel. At the time, we hadn't broken, right? I think this drawing over here was essentially, I think this is my scribble right over here. So we looked at these highs right here, Kusha. You see these highs here? And we're like, okay, if we do take out these highs over, that would be the first sign that, hey, Vechain may be looking to start an uptrend, right? And hey, we have done that. In fact, this green box territory right over here, Kusha, was from that video, right? Where we talked about how that zone could be looked at as a level of resistance that we're looking to flip for Vechain to start an uptrend that would essentially be indicative of this downtrend. Now again, it's not the prettiest of falling channels, and you guys know my stance on this when pertaining to patterns. Sometimes the ones that are the least prettiest pan out, and we are in an uptrend right now, Kusha. Look at this daily close that we just had on Vechain. Well, we closed above the past two daily candles, the open and close. We retested that horizontal, so we could essentially bring this a tad bit down, and I do believe this was a horizontal level of one of your measured moves, right?
Yeah,
so it's like actually working out like clockwork. You can see that we're continuing the trajectory of my scribbly line as well, as Harthan from the Mango Seed program says. He says, don't underestimate the power of scribbles. But Kusha, the dashboard did also call Vechain, right? How long ago was that?
Yeah, let's go ahead and check that out, because I know the dashboard, we looked at the dashboard, right?
I'm wondering
at the beginning.
whether
Here you go, Vechain.
lined up 11 days
11
ago.
days ago.
So it probably called it a bit earlier than
Wow, that was a
the
good
break of the trend.
move, 27%. Let's see, 11 days ago, right? Let's go ahead and take a look at that. Right here. So wow, this break, it called this break right here, just to
essentially
this one right here.
the candle close above the horizontal level, eh? Interesting.
So you pretty much caught the entirety of the move if you caught it based on the dashboard. Pretty neat. I mean, look at the confluence there. When I see confluence like that, like the dashboard going off, as well as price taking out a major horizontal, that is your, like, that's a good sort of that's a good trade probability.
That's a confidence trade,
yeah,
right?
that's a confidence trade.
And that's what you guys are looking for. You guys don't want to be trading anything in isolation. Do not trade the dashboard in isolation. Do not trade the dynamic in isolation. That's why we have such a holistic approach. We don't come on over here and look at so many time frames and so many indicators because we do love it, but we're looking for confluence. We're looking for that confidence, right? The more things going your way, right, the more probability that the trade will go your way. Remember, nothing is a certainty. If you have only one indicator saying, hey, this is bullish, and there's 99 of your other indicators all calling it bearish, you don't trade that one indicator because it's your favorite indicator. You trade the probability. All right? No emotions.
Yeah, and I think that was very important, because that way you know why we look at the multiple things that we do look at, right? Horizontals, Ichimoku, we're looking at the dynamic. We want to see if we can really stack that probability on our end. That's a trade of confidence. Sean, I also want to get on over to the weekly very quickly, because I think many of these horizontals were drawn in on the weekly time frame, and as you can see, that is true. So we had this one right here. I'm just going to knock off the midpoint. Okay. Okay, so I'm seeing something just right off the bat just by looking at this zone that let's say that Vechain has penetrated. So this yellow line horizontal that we had, that we took out, that the dashboard also called, which came in at 8 cents, we took that out and we have been, you know, trudging up ever since. Now I remember where I got that line segment from. I believe that was the breakdown point. I believe somewhere around here. Not the breakdown point, sorry, the midway point, the midpoint.
I see.
So here's what I think. I think that Vechain has entered a volatile zone. The bulls clearly have the edge here, just with that that uptrend being established on the 1-day time frame. So we're looking for the uptrend to pretty much continue. However, as soon as I start seeing additional candle body closes over this 10-cent region, okay, and yes, even if I start seeing consecutive candles, daily candles close over 10 cents, I'm going to be looking for another sort of push to the upside for Vechain. Right, so this is going to be a volatile zone. Notice how well price has oscillated within the zone in the past, Sean.
Yep.
Right,
Yep.
so this is going to be a pretty good trade to be had. I'll be keeping a very keen eye out on the midpoint. Just getting back on over to the daily, and you can see how we're technically getting rejected here for now. So I'll be waiting on those candle closes, and that'll give us the next edge to the upside, just to go back on over to the weekly to get a good move on that. I want to see what that trade would be like. That would be a good 30%. Okay, so there's going to be a lot of meat to be had on an altcoin like Vechain. So, but keep your eyes peeled on the overhead resistance as well as underneath support. Are you seeing anything on this chart, Sean?
I am seeing that Vechain's going to become extremely interesting above 14 cents, because until we actually break 14 cents, it depends on how fast this all unfolds, right? If we break 14 cents on the first upthrust alone, that's when the confidence increases. However, if we take a few more weeks, for example, the next couple of weeks leading into September, and we put in a higher low, then perhaps this horizontal over here would be enough for me to get aggressive, right? So 11 cents would then be what I'd be looking for as a major level, because I want to see that clear ebb and flow, Krisha, of a weekly uptrend. Because at the moment we have this as a lower high, we have a low, and do we have a lower high here, right? We don't know that, right? We don't know that. So the more safe mango trade would be a high low around the green zone over here, or wick underneath, a close above the green zone, and then a higher high, hunt for another higher low here if you get lucky for that, of course, or just play the breakout of a neckline that's likely going to form over here, likely going to line up with a cup and handle in the zone, and then I'll be playing something like this, right? So you play the cup and handle break towards the upside, turning into a potential inverted head and shoulders, right? And yeah, the big move towards 40 cents.
Sean, we'll keep your scribbles there to see if it all pans out.
This is I took it a bit far over here. But the thing is, though, right? When you don't need to trade it this way, right? You don't need to say, "Hey, it's going to happen." But at least when you have the movement in your mind that, hey, this may happen and that may happen, and if this doesn't happen and that could happen, then you're not buying into the breakouts. Because when something does happen, you're like, okay, now the next leg of this is the pullback, right? You're being a little bit more cautious because you premeditated the moves. You're not anxious.
Yeah.
It just helps.
Yeah. So I agree with you on all of that. It's good to sort of forecast these sort of moves, that way you know what to expect. Now, as far as price action goes on Vechain, guys, I do believe that we're up against resistance, okay, right now, which comes in at around 10 cents, a nice whole number for you. It's only once we really start living over 10 cents, and when I say to live over, I'm talking about candle body closes. Over 10 cents will I be looking for the next move to the upside for Vechain. But I'm saying don't jump the gun on this. I think that's where the real edge really lies. I think just wait for resistance to get taken out before you take a significant position on Vechain. Right now, I think the underneath support comes in at the green box territory, which comes in at around 9 cents. That's what you look for as long as... I'm just going to get rid of these squigglies. I can't concentrate. My goodness. Okay, cool. As soon as we start getting additional rejection along this red line segment at 10 cents, I'll be looking for another plunge to the downside. First region of support comes in at 9 cents. Okay, and while, Vechain looks like an okay chart in terms of volatility, this is still going to be a good 10% to the downside. It's not a trade that you want to be, you know, losing on. You don't want to be caught on the bad side of these kind of trades. They can be very unassuming at first glance until you actually have to take the hit, and they're not so unassuming to your account. So yeah, this is what we have for you for Vechain. Target to the upside, 10 cents. We take out 10 cents, 14 cents, here we come. Downside, 9 cents. We take out 9 cents, which also lines up with the wick low. Then bottom of the green box territory, 8 cents. It's going to be from around 8 to 0.089 cents to 0.085 cents. Okay, keep it nice and simple for yourself. If you want, you can take note of these horizontals. Sean, is there anything else that you want to add to this before we wrap it up?
Nope, I think you covered it all.
Awesome. Now, guys, remember to vote for your favorite altcoin for tomorrow's video. And yeah, with this, trade safely, trade stress-free, trade the mango way, trade the easy way. Ciao.
Ciao, guys.